It's time. It's time to learn about order of operations. It's time because you're in fifth grade now. So it's time to learn about order of operations. You might be thinking, operations? Well, let's see, I had my tonsils out when I was 5, and there was that time I had my brain replaced with a chimpanzee brain, but no, I'm not talking about medical operations. I'm talking about mathematical operations. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, mathematical operations. An order of operations, well, that might sound weird too. Like, what do you mean order of operations? Let me tell you. When you were little, you learned to do this kind of thing. Like 5 plus 2 plus 1 equals, and you could figure that out. You'd go 5 plus 2, well, that's 7, plus 1 is 8. So 5 plus 2 plus 1 is 8. Yeah, and all you did is went that plus that plus that. You just went from left to right. Just like when you read, you went from left to right. Here's a sentence. I accidentally got my tongue caught in my bicycle spokes. Okay, that's a perfectly normal sentence. But what if we didn't read it from left to right? What if we went, caught in my bicycle spokes, got my tongue, I accidentally. Well, then it wouldn't make a lot of sense. You have to read it from left to right. And up until now, that's what you've learned to do in math. But that's because you weren't a fifth grader. Now that you're a fifth grader, math is getting a little more complex. And you run into expressions that have a whole variety of things in them, like this one. Like that. We've got all kinds of things going on here. Well, here's the deal with math. With math, you do not necessarily go from left to right. I better say that again because I'll bet you're thinking, I heard him wrong. No, in math, you do not always go from left to right. There's a particular order that you have to do things in. And that's what order of operations is all about. I'm going to show you a funny word. The word is PEMDAS. And every letter in this word stands for a mathematical operation. Let me show you. P stands for parentheses. E stands for exponent. Now, I know you probably don't know what that is. Don't worry about it. It's not important now. M means multiply. D means divide. A means add, S means subtract. Now this word, we say it this way, PEMDAS, because the order of these letters is very important. When we're doing a math expression and evaluating it, as we like to say, we always have to do the first letter of the word first. Now the first letter is P, which means parentheses, so we always do parentheses first. Mr. Davis has been working with that, with you on that, using parentheses, doing what's inside the parentheses first. The second thing is an exponent. Whatever that is, you do that second. Then comes multiply. You notice that multiply and divide have a line under them. That's because they're the same, they're like equal power. You do whichever one comes first. And then addition and subtraction, you do whichever of those two comes first. But you would always do parentheses before anything else, then exponents before anything that's left, and then any multiplication and division, and then any addition and subtraction. And it's done that way everywhere by all mathematicians. Everywhere. It doesn't matter where. If you go to New York, they're going to do it in this order. If you go to anywhere in the world, they're going to do it in this order. If you go to Japan, this order. If you go to China, this order. If you go to France, any place in the world, they're going to do it in this order. Canada? Is that in the world? Yes? Yes, it is. So they would do it this way in Canada. So what we're going to look at is an example of how that works. Here we have 4 plus 3 to the second power, that's how you say that, times 8 minus 6 plus 2 divided by 2. Now, if you don't know order of operations, you might be likely to do something like this. First, I'll do 4 plus 3, and then I'll do that to the power of 2. Then I'll multiply that by 8, and then I'll subtract 6, and then I'll add 2, and then I'll divide by 2. And you would get the wrong answer because you're not using the correct order of operations. Here's how you should do it. I need my chart. Okay, I know that I have to do any parentheses first before anything else. Let me see if I can find any. Aha, I just found some parentheses right here. So that's what I have to do first. 8 minus 6 is 2. So I'm going to write a 2 there. So I don't even need that anymore. This just became 2. Any more parentheses? Nope. So I'm all done with parentheses. So now I go on to exponents, the E right here. Well, let me see if I can find any exponents. This little thing here is called an exponent. Later this year, you'll learn what those are all about. But for now, I'll just tell you, 3 to the second power is 9. Okay, so I'm going to cross that out because that's my answer there. Any more exponents? Nope. Okay, what's next? Multiplication and division. But remember, those are equal in power. That's why they're underlined together. They're equal in power. So now I'm just going from left to right and finding which one comes first. Okay, that's addition. Oh, there's one right there. Multiply. 9 times 2. You look at whatever is to the left of it and whatever is to the right of it. 9 times 2. Well, that's 18. So this whole thing right here is 18. Let's see if there's any more multiplication or division as I keep going. Oh, there's some division. 2 divided by 2. Oh, well, that happens to be 1. So I'm done with those now. I've done the division. That's 1. And I don't see any more multiplication or division. So it's time to go on to my last ones, addition and subtraction. So again, those are equal in power. That's why they're underlined together. And so I'm just going to go from left to right and do them as they come up. 4 plus 18, that would be 22, plus 1 would be 23. That's how it works. Order of operations. So I'm going to do one more quick example. Let's say, this is a simpler one. Let's say that I wrote 6 plus 4 times 2. And if I was a person who didn't know how to do order of operations, here's what I would do. And here's a hint. This is wrong. Okay, I would go, well, I'll just go from left to right like I'm reading a sentence. 6 plus 4 is 10 times 2 is 20. Oh, I got the answer. But that's not the answer. That's the wrong answer because I didn't use the correct order of operations. I have to refer back to PEMDAS. I have to do all the parentheses first. Well, hey, there are none, so I don't have to worry about it. Then I'll do exponents. What do you know? There are none of those either. I don't have to worry about it. Multiply and divide. Hey, there's multiply. 4 times 2. Well, that's 8. So 4 times 2 is 8. And now I have to do any addition and subtraction. 6 plus 8 Well, 6 plus 8 is 14. And that, my friends, is the correct answer to this problem because you've used the correct order of operations. So what I want to emphasize is no longer can you do the little kid thing where you just always go from left to right. You're done with that for the rest of your life. No matter where you go, no matter what, you're done with that. You always now have to use the correct order of operations. This probably feels like kind of a monumental day in your life, doesn't it? It oughta. Well, good luck with that, you guys.